it's way easier for them to hire on the internet, and the kind of people they can find on the internet is more diverse. Okay, all right. Those of you who were here for our previous session, we talked about this very interesting, what do you call it? Let's just say article called the Great Online Game. If you've seen the previous video, we talked a little bit about the creator economy. We talked about this idea that overall, it seems like everybody who is online, some of us are using the internet for personal brand. Some of us are using it to connect with other people. All of us almost are using it for entertainment. But what if you could look at the internet and your activities on the internet as some kind of massively multiplayer online game? What if you could look at the world like that? Today, we'll talk about this article a little bit again, and then I want to add some of my own thoughts on how the world we live in is actually very different. I can tell you this to a lot of you, if you check this out, I'm going to leave the link here as well, so you can either read it or bookmark it. It seems a little too obvious when you read this, right? The Great Online Game, what it says, right? It talks about a little crypto and everything, but basically it says that how well you play this game online determines the rewards you get, online as well as offline. You can now type stuff into your phone, right? Depending on the kind of stuff you share, you can get jobs, you can get invited to, opportunities that you didn't have before, get into discords, right? Get into new communities, a lot of which are not open for everybody. A lot of them you have to actually go deep and find it on the internet. But overall, it can be very useful to think of your activity on the internet as a game. Now, another thing we talked about last time was the growing internet market in India. Globally, for sure, but in India especially. What that creates is a lot of consumers. One of the reasons we have so many new startups coming up is because there are now new use cases being built on top of this. When you have a lot of users, cheap smartphones, free data, you're going to have a lot more consumers. But if you are somebody who wants to build a career on the internet, today I'm going to challenge you to think of yourself beyond just a consumer. Let me show you a little bit about what I mean. I want you to think about yourself as not just a consumer, right? In the end, we all use the internet for watching Netflix, watching YouTube, having fun on Twitter, all of that stuff. But there is a good side of the internet that you can use for personal benefit, for finding new people that you can talk to, for finding new opportunities. And what that requires is a shift in thinking where you stop thinking of yourself as just a consumer and start to create on the internet as well. One thing that is not very obvious to a lot of people when they become users of the internet is that everything you see on the internet was created by just another person. A lot of times we assume it's only big companies on the internet, but the internet, the media that you watch, the people that you talk to, the Twitter accounts that you follow, the reels or whatever that you watch, overall, it makes you a consumer. But it was made by somebody just like you. And having that mindset shift that everything that I come across, that I use on the internet was made by people just like me, can actually change the way you think about the internet. Because what it makes you is more of a creator. You realize that I don't have to just look at, browse and consume stuff that other people have done on the internet. I can make my own stuff that other people can watch for entertainment, for information, and you can use this to grow your own network of opportunities. Okay, here we go. The game that you are playing online, the game that most people are playing, is that of a consumer. However, the benefits, right? Benefits, what kind of benefits can you get? Are you looking for a job? Are you a designer, right? The benefit you can get is you can meet other designers, make more money. You can get opportunities. However, it really requires a mindset shift. It requires you to not really stop being a consumer, right? In the end, we're all going to consume and create, but most people are majority playing the consumer game, right? And one of the things that we talk about in the creator economy is that it is now possible to make money as a creator. It's getting even more, let's just say, accessible to a lot of people. So finding a job on the internet. When every single person, when they first join the internet, they join as a consumer. But only a few of them, or only if you are conscious about it, do you then switch to a creator. So the reason we liken this to a game, I've shared that article. You can check that out. That article does a much better job than I can. But in a game, there are tasks, there are missions, and then there are rewards, right? There's a lot of other stuff as well, such as game mechanics, game mechanisms, you have other players. But finding a job on the internet is one of the rewards. And for a lot of people, they think this is where the game stops, which is once I get a job, once I'm able to use the internet either to just apply for roles or use it to self-learn, use it to find out who the best startups and companies are, find other players who are designers that are doing killer stuff on the internet, and eventually I get a job, right? Another type of reward could be freelance projects. And these are both rewards that have real money involved, right? You can make real money using this. However, in the same way that a game doesn't give you missions that you are not ready for. Let's say if you're playing GTA, you are not going to get a mission which is difficulty level here if you've just started playing the game, right? You have smaller missions that build up your capability. On the internet, a lot of this stuff you have to do by yourself, but a lot of courses, communities, you can think of them almost as the starting levels of a game. Every community, of course, has their consumers, but also has their creators. Once you start thinking in these terms, and I'm going to switch to the article here, sometimes it's weird to remember that we're all competing to hit the right keys on our keyboard in the right order, and that if we do it for long enough, we can buy a house. Right? This is a very interesting way to see this. Anyways, so this mental model of the internet as a game, number one starts with the consumer-creator divide. You can be a consumer. That is totally normal. I watch a lot of YouTube, right? Today is Monday, in fact, so I'm going to go watch the latest episode of Rick and Morty. But if you are more of a consumer, it can be hard for you to switch into creation mode. One of the reasons it's so hard for any of us to post our projects online, or sometimes even do projects, let's say we're talking about design, is because the more you consume, the less likely you are to create. Now that sounds like a generic statement, so let me put some guardrails around this. Consuming typically happens on a lot of different platforms, right? So let's say we look at Instagram, we look at Twitter, and the more you consume, the more you get blasted by so much input that you typically end up with lesser focus, right? We're not going to be talking about productivity today, but in general, social media can be amazing if you're a creator because you get to propagate your own stuff. You get to share what you're working on. Other people can discover you and collaborate, right? So that's a great part of the game. But as a pure consumer of social media, it can kind of be bad because it takes away focus, right? We all know about how our attention spans are really difficult. Like even today for me, when I sit down to do a project, within let's say 10-15 minutes, I want to check my phone. Unless I am conscious about the fact that I'm doing this, my default behavior is that. So social media does train you towards that side. So hopefully you guys are getting the idea of what it means to play this game, right? To get into more of the focus of being a creator. But beyond that, I want to talk about jobs, since jobs are one of the rewards that most people think that they want. But personal brand, for example, fits really well into this framework, right? Your personal brand is almost the reputation that you have. Every game, let me actually write this to the side, okay? Tasks and missions. Tasks and missions, let me actually give a few examples here. I want to start with reputation. Your reputation is your personal brand. In a game, you might have levels that you go up. Certain levels get you to the point where you can now take on bigger challenges, where bigger creators, who are the players in this game, players in this game are the creators. However, I don't want you to think of creators as in just people who create stuff on YouTube or people who are Twitter, right? I want you to think of people creating new stuff in the world. This could be designers. It could be creative jobs, right? So for example, developers / programmers. A founder is also technically a very high level creator because the thing that they're creating is a company, and that company can then create products. It can then create media. So the higher reputation that you build on the internet, the better players you can play with and you can collaborate with. Let's talk about jobs now, right? A job, the reason today the internet is the place that you go for a job is there are no more campus placements, for example, right? A lot of us have been told or have this weird mental model that's been put into our mind by school, society, parents, the usual, which is हाँ बेटा या बेटी पहले स्कूल कर लो फिर कॉलेज चले जाना और कॉलेज के बाद उसके बाद तो फिर ऐश ही ऐश है बट अभी के लिए पढ़ाई कर लो राइट स्टडी राइट नाउ and then later you can have fun. But the thing is that later might never happen. The kind of mindset that is true for कि अभी पढ़ाई कर लो, they are in fact preparing you for some kind of game, right? Some kind of rat race. But that kind of model only works if there is a guarantee of jobs, which there isn't. Today, companies don't go to campuses to hire. It's way easier for them to hire on the internet, and the kind of people they can find on the internet is more diverse. They can find people from all cities, right? They don't have to just, if they're in Bangalore, only find people in Bangalore. They can find people from smaller cities. They can find people who are, maybe because of work from home or lockdown in their own cities. The internet is where you find people. And the mental model I want to give you is founders, people who run startups, or let me just also say leaders, right? Which is you might not need to be a founder, but maybe you're a head of some department, head of design, head of product, maybe you're a VP somewhere, maybe you're in some kind of hiring role. The thing that they need the most to be successful, when you want to create at a big enough scale, they need people. They need talented people, right? But overall, they need players for this game. They need people who are really good. The internet allows you to play that game where you can build up something called a proof of work. Now, if you've seen some of my previous videos, I think the one where we talked about how much money do designers make, or one of these recent, we talked about what exactly do companies look for. There are signals and then there's substance. I think this was the fake it till you make it video. But on the internet, your proof of work is your player profile. So let's say I might be in a, let's say, head of design position. As a head of design, I need to hire designers. How do I hire designers? Or why do I need to hire designers, right? Let's talk about a typical hiring scenario. I need to hire designers. Why? Because there is work, right? Design work needs to get done. We are building products, we're building websites, we're building things other people can use. So need designers. So me as a head of design, how do I find designers? Number one, the easiest way for me to find designers is to look in my network. So a lot of jobs don't even get publicly posted. They get directly filled because you know people in your network, right? And by network, I don't mean some kind of secret society. If I was hiring, the first thing I would do is share on Twitter saying that I am hiring, right? But to be able to see that post on Twitter, you need to be active on Twitter. Not just that, but you need to have some kind of pre-existing connection with me. Let's go a little deeper. If I am hiring for a role, let's say this is the role that I'm hiring for. Now, depending on the size of the company, I might hire, let's say on a lower scale, 3-4 designers per year. I want people who are fitting this sort of skill set. And without things like degrees, the way I look for that is I try to see if this is a person and this is the work that I want to get done, or let me just say skills that I'm looking for. How much of a match exists between that and a person? At bigger companies, what happens is there is a certain amount of work that needs to get done, right? There is a certain kind of skill set that would be needed in such a scenario. If you're a designer, I can show you real quick. This is something that we use to show you what it's like for design. This is just our internal framework that we use, but these are some of, let's say, the skills: design process, ability to ask questions properly, your taste in design, your visuals, all of this stuff. So at a bigger company, what I might do is I have this work or skill set. I will translate this into a document. This document is typically called a JD. This is a job description. And when a person sees this JD, they apply for that job and then they get into the interview process. But a lot of times you might hire somebody in this stage itself without even creating a JD. A job description, typically you only create a job description if you are going to be hiring a lot of people for that role. Or in general, a job description is just a document that says, this is the kind of stuff we are looking for. But keep in mind that a lot of jobs out there, before a JD is even published, people are already talking, right? You're already talking to the person who's in a hiring role. So ideally, you want to think as a creator and not as a consumer. This is where I'm going to tie the video together. This is a concept we can go super deep into. If you enjoyed that video, please, of course, let us know. Leave a like and comment. But besides that, this is what we do for a living. We help creatives and designers level up in their careers. If you'd like to join one of our live programs, we do them a few times a year. Check out the link in the description. It's 10kdesigners.com. And I'll see you around.